never loved me, yeah.
Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my phone they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger side when they tried to phone me.
Yeah, you know the streets ain't never love us.
Yeah. GD. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me.
Laying up in the hospital bed in ICU. Hit that button like every 3 hours to get those blues, yeah. Laying in the test of pain, I know shit won't be the same. Sipping my stomach, shit don't stop a thing, I'm still a man, yeah. But who gon' be there when you doing time? Can't get no money, so they dropping down, these niggas bitter. And I hope they get the picture, I'm only getting bigger. The top cat out my litter, yeah. Tell you they love you, but they hate you on the low. They hold you back, how they expect for you to grow. I got locked up, ain't said me nothing, but I'm your nigga. My body numb, I got no feelings for you niggas. I'm from what niggas will shoot you right here in these hallways. If you got trust in that loyalty goes a long way. These size 11s, these pussies can't walk a mile in. They hit my cousin with life and he's still smiling. I've been shot, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
I've been stabbed, I've been left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved me.
I've been locked, I got charged for some shit I didn't do, nigga. You know these streets ain't never loved me.
Caught a case, went upstate, fuck the Jakes, nigga. Yeah, you know these streets ain't never loved me. Streets ain't never loved me since my brother died. My mother cried, tears in my eyes bleed red. Ain't no love inside. Streets left me dolly, my foreign they left it holy. Dawn was in that passenger seat when they tried to fold me. Remind me of my gun, that was real shit, this real spit. Rocks I was selling was smacking them, call it Will Smith. I ain't never told and never folded under pressure. Get him Neek was in that ambulance with me, he was on that stretcher. Niggas tried to take my life, I couldn't tell you who. Many men might not make it, I'm here to tell the truth. Me and Job, that's my brother, you know we moving tight. Brown boys fuck with the family and I'ma get them that. This my testimony, solid, all the rest is phony. Merrick niggas come at the fam and send your best opponent. I was stabbed, I was left with a zipper on my stomach, nigga. I know the streets ain't never loved me. He was shot, he was left with a zipper on his stomach, nigga. You know the streets ain't never loved us. Gang, marriage shit, it's how we music, nigga.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?
Yo, shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. First of all, I want y'all to say congratulations to Big Dice. I need a congratulations to Big Dice. This time last year, May 15th, I started my job. Today made the year anniversary for my gig. May 15th. Last year I started. Thank you, Angie, baby. Not feel good for myself. Can you dig it? It's Dub. Now back to what I was saying without any hesitations. City Boy Floyd, I appreciate you because y'all know it's hard for a pimp. They say it's hard out here for a pimp when they trying to get that money for the rent. You know what they said on that show. You know what they said, right? Appreciate you, dog. Thank you, Miss Tanja. I got your Cash App also, sis. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Angie said, proud of you. Thank you, sis. ABG from Brooklyn. Long live motherfucking Pop. He said, yo, Dice got a job? Yep, your man got a job, y'all. Club Fortune, I appreciate you. Big Frank Boo. Yo, Frank, you're going to live a long time, man. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, put the dice cubes up. You're going to live a long time, Frank. I swear to God, I know you work at night, so I wasn't going to fuck with you tonight. I'm off tomorrow, as y'all know. I'm off every other Friday until the end of the summer with my job. So on Friday mornings, I will be going live. I was going to holler at Frank tomorrow morning. I want to do some motherfucking work with him. He got that great motherfucking content. We got to keep supporting our peoples that's out here. You dig what I'm saying? And make sure they stay out here and stay on this path that we on. You dig what I'm saying? Appreciate you, ABG, for letting me know that it's crystal clear. Thank you, Angie, baby. Thank you, East New York. I'm going up here and I'm going to shout it out from the top from the people. First was Angie, baby. Is in the building. That's when you know you're smoking that shit to keep going out. This shit keep going out. Shout out to City Boy Floyd, Brooklyn shit, Albany P, St. Mark's is in the building, ABG, St. Mark's and Utica is in the building, Dog Soldier, Big Queens energy, you know what I'm saying? Big Queens blood clot energy. Oh, we got the sis from California, Miss Chillin' with Love, Cali with Love, aka will tear your ass up if you fuck with her. We got East New York in the building, Miss 318. Yes, we do. We do. Make sure we don't miss anybody. You know what I'm saying? Miss Tanja, she is definitely in the building. Club Fortune is definitely in the building. ABG is here. Frank Boo is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody is celebrated the way they celebrated me. She said, I have an idea. Do you think you can go to the federal court building and take down notes in the Diddy trial? I really don't know. I got some shit to talk about with Diddy too. And I'm glad Frank Boo in here too, because he can talk to me about this one. You dig what I'm saying? Because Diddy looking bad. They got Diddy looking fucked up in court. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about this cat right here. And I want to talk about this man right here. Unfortunately, last night, the New York Knicks. Wax AP, I see you, country nigga in the building. Danny Lux, you about to get fucking 10 seconds. See, you about to get 10 seconds. See, you know I love you, but your ass about to get it. I don't care about that bullshit. Your ass getting 10 seconds coming in here talking about free Diddy. Free your ass out of that 10 seconds. Talking that silly shit up in here. You crazy? You know you just got it. Now Rivers in the fucking building. This man right here last night, Wax, broke my fucking heart. He fouled out, but I'm not going to drop the loyalty with him. This man right here has been representing for the New York Knicks. He's been giving us 30 plus every game. Ain't nobody did that in so long. I'm shouting it out for Jalen Bronson right here. I wanted it in 5, but I guess we're going to do it in 6. We're not going to game 7. You dig what I'm saying? We're not going to no game 7. We're going to do this in 6. This show right here, I got to talk about now. Some of you ladies is going to get mad. You know, I believe in tough love. And your boy love you. I don't give a fuck if you get upset. I don't care nothing about that sucker shit. I'm always going to stand on principle. Man. Keep your prayers up for this guy right here, man. Rest in peace to the LGP Quad, man. That shit really bothers me. And that's the sister Harley cousin. A lot of y'all don't even know that. That's Harley from Philly cousin. That'll be right here in this chat. Rest in peace for him, you know what I'm saying? Voice of the youth, the kid that was trying to really just stir the kids to a better way. Unfortunately, did some time in prison, came home, changed his life, even went back to his junior high school and gave a check for $10,000, was responsible for making sure the basketball team had their motherfucking uniforms and all that. And over a chain, this young man right here, and his mother said she's still waiting for her son to walk down the block. The lady said she's still waiting for her son to walk down the block. You know what I'm saying? On Mother's Day, the man told his moms he was on the way to her house. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid was on the way to his house. And his mom, she like, yo, like, I just want to see my baby. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to this young man right here. Everybody put the prayers up for him, man. But also put some prayers up for Torey Lanez, man. Most hated, I see you in the building. Wax said, yo, he was set up. It was a hit. Did you see the video? And that's what they're saying. They said it was foul play and backdoored in the situation with that child, man. And he really, really, really was talented, like the stuff that he was talking about. But this situation right here, I want to know what y'all really feel about this situation right here with Megan. See, the reason why this is kind of touchy right here is because, unfortunately, ladies, your word seems like to be credible because of your sex. Your word isn't questioned. It's not questioned when it comes to tears, maybe a bruise, maybe a past record of a man that you are dealing with. All you have to do is go and say, yo, check this out. He did this to me. He did this to me. I talked about this the other day when I said, Torey Lanez, they said he was not the aggressor. They said he never discharged a firearm. If you pay attention, there wasn't even gunpowder residue on his hand, but 3 other people, they tested positive for gunpowder residue. For those of y'all that may be naive, you got gunpowder residue on your hand, that means you discharged a firearm within a certain amount of time. But they sent him to prison for a decade. Then recently, after his lawyers and them, after finding out new, extremely important evidence, reached out to Megan Stallion and them. You dig what I'm saying? Reached out to Megan Stallion and them. It just reached out. It just reached out. Because if you pay attention to this, I'm gonna show you something right quick. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Show you something right quick. Word up. I got to show you something right quick. Give me 1 second, because this right here was crazy, and I don't understand why this was overlooked. Nobody talked about this. I would really like to know why. See, this is the part I don't understand, because everything, just like YouTube, is clicks and views. Everything, just like YouTube, is clicks and views. Wax said 80% of the time the law sides with the women. ABG said in Brooklyn, they saying Hove has something to do with that. But you know the conspiracy theory that's going to come behind it because of Torey Lanez's father and his allegations against Rock Nation and the other group of people that kept him in jail. Big guy, I see you in the building. But you know what I want y'all to see? I want y'all to see something. This is disgusting. I just want you to pay attention to something right quick, man, because this is actress of the year. Pay attention, y'all. Just
An
listen to
argument
this.
in the car.
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like we fuss about silly stuff all the time. But I never put my...
Here come the acting. Remember she said she was ready to go. Pay attention to her story. She was ready to go, but everybody else wasn't. Remember, allegedly, the other young lady was like, yo, we might as well have a threesome. We all fucking anyway. And the reason why she was ready to go is because they threw their ass out the motherfucking club because she is the one that started the argument inside of the club. Now, you see she up here with Gail. You see she up here with Gail. You see she up here with Gail. But I want y'all to check this actress out with, check this out. She deserves a Grammy.
There was an argument in the car?
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like we fuss about silly stuff all the time. But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to
right.
the way that it did.
So I get...
No disrespect intended. I've seen that 1,000 times with women in the hood. If you any women in the hood that want to agree with me, let me see some dice cubes. Phoenix, I see you, girl. Anybody want to agree with me? I've seen women just pause. By the time they come up after this, the water in their ear from the pressure of squeezing their eyes has some type of liquid. Has some type of liquid. I got you, East New York. Now, I want to know if y'all sisters going to tell me the truth. Have you ever done this? Do you know a friend that has ever done this? Do you got a sister that ever done this? Let me see some dice cubes. Because you know how y'all women is. The first thing y'all do is, hold up. Wait. Seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it in Brooklyn. I've seen it on Utica Avenue. I've seen it in Albany Projects. Seen it in Farragut. I've seen it in Fort Greene. I've seen it in Jackie Robinson. I've seen it in Brevoort. I've seen it in Smurfville. I've seen it all Brooklyn. Shot, salute. But I want y'all to pay attention to this. Pause. Watch the tears, Frank Boo.
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, bitch. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared.
In the car, shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window, shooting. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, cause I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know.
One more time. This is finest actress. She belongs on All My Children. She ain't crying in the beginning. Check it out.
There was an argument in the car?
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like we fuss about silly stuff all the time. But
what was y'all arguing about? You pay attention to that look right there, y'all. When she drop her head because she's thinking of a lie. They show you that in Psychology 101 when she drops her head because she's thinking for a lie. Pay attention.
But
you see that pause right there? That's when she fucked up. You see that pause right there? That's like when I say in that movie, he said you dropped the beer at 10:27. but they waited till 11:15 to clean. You dropped the bid at 10:50. You sure it was 11:05? What they say after that? You know that's where you fucked up. Thank you, East New York. She said, I know somebody who's done that, Dice. It's the oldest trick in the book. Because the truth you don't have to remember. It's already lodged in your head. A lie you cannot remember. I don't give a fuck what nobody's saying. A lie you can't remember 100 years down the line. The truth you can. You can remember it just like it was yesterday if it was actual factual, like they say. What them young boys be saying? Actual factual. But I want y'all to pay attention to the pause and the response.
Up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to
Right.
the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast.
Yes.
And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, bitch. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Get the fuck out of here. That woman said that shit on the Gayle King show. The nigga pulled the gun out and said, dance, bitch. You see what she said on the Gayle King show? Y'all do know that's Gayle King, right? Yo, Kev, salute. He said them crocodile tears. But y'all do know that Gayle King is Oprah Winfrey homegirl, right? Y'all do know that Megan Thee Stallion performed in the behalf of Kamala Harris for the presidential election that we just had.
Like, he shot a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
was
is
so
he
scared.
in the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He
How
is standing up over the window,
okay.
shooting.
Uh-huh.
Hold up. I want y'all to listen to what she just said last. He was standing over the window shooting. I got one thing for Megan Thee Stallion. This is what I got for Megan Thee Stallion right here. Why?
You can't play both sides, you niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told. Like, what I gotta do to make you niggas rhyme? Like, I'm ready to kill when the kind of minds I'm cautious. I'm dealing with more sticks than a porcupine. Quill spines, whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, plus my little mama, she a trap queen. Doggy when she mixed with that Fetty, give him a wop lean. It was a whole lot of cars when there was stimmies round. We going over a year and half you niggas down. All these expensive clothes like was that smart? Now they uploading they clothes on the Poshmark. Swiss baby, careful with this. I mean it's bitch sharp. One across, one down the middle, look like a chrome heart. Damn, I'm always outside. I'm like high from who? Bout to put your car on skates. You think you sliding through? I help build my niggas. This ain't Legos. Protect the fan by any means. I be Diego. Yeah, tiger to you niggas. I'm an animal. It's a jungle where I'm from. What y'all wanna do? You can't play both sides. You niggas gotta choose. Niggas out here being tough until they make the news. Mama said her son ain't hurt nobody. The streets said her son was catching plenty bodies. If you accept these charges, then please hold. In every hood, it was a nigga that was tough, but he still told.
Virgo Twin, I see you in the building, girl. I'm upset with all y'all women tonight for this Megan Thee Stallion bullshit because it was a bunch of y'all women that was talking about, that's fucked up what Torey did to her. That's fucked up. If you've been through any type of situation, unfortunately, sisters, where you've been in a relationship, where you may have been through a domestic life, you may have been in a toxic relationship, that don't mean that every time you hear a situation that the man is wrong. Now, she said he started shooting at her, right? if she said he was shooting at her, remember I told y'all about the bodyguard that gave a different motherfucking description of what happened and what he remembered? Okay. She said this, right? But let's check out some deep shit right quick. Let's go. If y'all want to know what we're about to watch a team of advocates and some lawyers for a press conference they're holding this morning in Los Angeles. Like I said, they're insisting to the mayor that he is pardoned immediately.
Okay, everybody, we're about to get started. If you want to be on this side, please come around.
Pay attention, y'all. There's a bunch of people up there. There's some Caucasians. You know what happens when them Caucasians get together, right? Smash that like, man. Share this live. Grown folks conversation. Let's do it.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house no matter what condition it's in. If you need to sell your house for any reason, click the button under this video to see if my offer is right for you. We make the process of selling your house easy and simple. No commissions, no fees. We'll buy your house in as-is condition, and you pick the
All right, everybody. First off, my name is Caesar McDowell. I am the CEO and co-founder of Unite the People. We're a nonprofit organization that promotes social justice as well as provides affordable legal services for the underserved community here in the state of California. Today, we want to thank everybody for coming out, all of the press, all of the fans, everyone that's here today. We want to say thank you for coming. Today, we're going to hear some really, really compelling new evidence that you've never heard before. Our legal team will explain all of that to you. We will have updates on Torey Lanez, Mr. Peterson, on how he's doing. It's really sad to see the situation that he's in. And we think it's time, enough is enough. It's time to bring the brother home. So with that, I would like to bring up our lead consultant, Mr. Walter Roberts.
Good morning. We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Torey Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gaston, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with the request for more information.
Pay attention.
A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell.
Megan Thee Stallion, they reached out to her and her lawyer. Yo, come through. Big Rich, I see you. Drop that link up in there, boy. That's that good music. Y'all don't know about Rich in the Cave. You better get over there. See, them lawyers, they got together and they got some information that's not really lining up with Miss Megan said. She just said it again. Y'all heard her say on Gail. She said, well, was he shooting outside the car? She said, no, he was shooting outside towards the window inside the car. He shot 3 times. He said, dance, bitch. Megan Thee Stallion said on Gayle King that Torey Lanez pointed a gun at her and said, dance, bitch, and bust off 3 shots. And they listen to that shit. But listen to what the lawyer's saying. Listen what they found out.
Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an.
And I don't think you pay attention to what he said. Excuse me. They said when they reached out to Megan Thee Stallion and her team and her lawyer in defense to tell them about the new evidence, they said they wanted to know what new evidence. Now, first of all, if you can stand on your case and everything is solid, you wouldn't even be worried about no evidence. That's like a nigga say, yo, Dice, I got a motherfucking video you breaking into Dunkin' Donuts and walking out with a safe. I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. Wasn't there no fucking breaking into nothing. Damn sure was. I don't give a fuck. But now you call back and say, well, what new evidence do you have? And then, like he said, ironically, days after this, he's viciously stabbed up and attacked in jail. I don't believe in coincidence, y'all. That's an excuse for a sucker.
Appellate brief, writ of habeas corpus on his behalf.
Salute.
The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover.
Wow, look at this. 94% of people believe company culture.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James.
Pay attention to what this cat about to say, y'all.
Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something.
Now pay attention to this. They saying that the man just reached out and said he got to do it from his moral motherfucking compass. This shit ain't right. He said he ain't signed no disclosure. Ain't nobody told him to sign no piece of paper saying that he can't really speak about what happened that night because he's the bodyguard of the other chick. He said he was standing right there for the whole thing. Like they said, the close proximity because he's a bodyguard. So he's next to the young lady that Megan Thee Stallion is upset with because she found out that not only is she allegedly sleeping with him, Torey Lanez is allegedly sleeping with him. And it comes out to the fact where they want to do some fiesta, some freaky puff shit. We gonna get to him too. Let's go.
Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gaston, Megan Pete. Party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial.
Clearly.
As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she
I know y'all like why Dice cut that shit off. I like getting y'all hype and shit like that. But this shit gonna get deep. Let's give it a little break right quick. Let's go.
Yeah. Mac Music. Top Tiger shit.
For some reason it came out crazy. So we got to bring it out. They must have wanted to hear Waiter first. Let's go.
Wait on. I showed my dope, my alibi. Yeah. In the big and the dad, y'all. Life is hard, y'all. I mean, for my big. So my dope, man, all night in the big and I ain't never cried. I wish when I called that I had to die. Me in the streets, we had a conversation. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversation. Me in the streets, we had a conversation. Being broke was the motivation. They said they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had a conversation. I got a baller, went and found a block. God gave me a pill, Satan gave me a Glock. I met her once, she gave me the top. Of your life, you want it or not. Being broke was the motivation. Go through all the pain and the couldn't make. I told Satan, suck a dick, I went and lost my faith in it. I was told if you want it, they go and take. I got siege, work on to I got enemies, in other words, obstacles. Gotta bleed. I Glock 9, a real so the need. I was sitting in the bin crying on my knees. I sat down and had a drink with me. I was thinking if my mama do, she think of me. My mama told me see my daddy when she look at me. Even though I love my aunt, I turned it to a fiend. My nightmares, they turned to a dream. Yeah. My money thoughts turned into a scheme. And think that life's a game. And the shooting got no pain. I popped the bean and then I left the earth. And guy had a gun, he kept it in his purse. My youngin' shot that, put him in a verse. I'm a rider, mirror tints on a black hearse. White man don't understand that being black hurts. Mama crying on the steps in front of a church. Crippin' is solidified. They asked brother die. Lift up one slide. They ready for the homicide. Said, Lord, take the pain away. My gun sing a lullaby. Ran from parole, I had to hustle, I ain't never hide. Trippin' in the league and I was weak and I ain't never cried. Real
multiply, nigga, we don't never die. 100 grand flat in the streets, I had you dead. 100 round jump, big shot, we out behead. You used to get beside me, didn't find me. See, we was in the trenches, and them just living grimy. Yeah, getting too much money up the hill. Tried to lie me. The Dominican, she freaky, give me toppy in the lobby. Yeah, in the like, yeah, you stay inside or you catch a charge. Yeah, my nigga pray to God because they life is hard. My niggas in the Bing wishing they was home. Been there, done that, you ain't not alone. Me in the streets, we had the conversations. Me in the streets, we had the conversations. Being broke was the motivations. They say they love me, but they really hate me. Me in the streets had the
Yo, shout out the way to Black, man. Shout out to the big super, you dig? Drip, I see you in the building, beloved. Salute. Appreciate you for pulling up. Angel, I see you, girl. You know that ain't nothing. Come on up in here and get some of this love. We here. And to all y'all women that was running with Megan Thee Stallion, I got some shit I want y'all to listen to because y'all just heard her say on the Gayle King show. Now, hold on. First of all, why is she not going to jail? Let's get to that. Shout out to Zip with the drip. How do y'all feel about this now? Because I didn't even let y'all hear the good part. But shouldn't she go to jail? Shouldn't she get that done? His career got put on hold. He's railroaded the incident he went through on her. But shouldn't she go to jail? False statement? Got somebody locked up? That nigga done got poked up? Wait till you hear what the security guard said. I'm gonna let y'all hear what the security guard said because that's how I'm feeling.
Process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
So why did she just say on the Gayle King show? Because you heard Gayle ask that specific question. How was he shooting? Like, think about it. Even Kat said that. Like, we knew this all along. Like, why would he shoot her? I bet y'all ain't know it's a new video out where she had bust the glass on the floor. And she was so drunk because she threw the glass out the window, the door was closed, and she got out, jumping out the car, acting like she wanted to fight, and stepped on the glass and you see her jump back. So now this shows the laceration that was on her foot. Because they asked her, where the fuck is the bullet at? Excuse my Wi-Fi. She said, no, it hit the ground, it ricocheted. They're like, why? Well, she said, because it didn't directly hit me. He was shooting at me. Like he said, you see what she said? He told me, bitch, dance. This is fucked up. Listen to
Never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified. He saw two women fighting, two men break up the fight, one man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson.
Pay attention.
Even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that, anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Miss Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction.
That's a hell of a fucking question right there, Frank Boo. Only a woman can answer that. I know so many men that are no longer here physically. In situations where unfortunately people were unalived and they are away in jail for over this same question right here. Just disregard Torey Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. We know this is what that's about. Why is it so common that if a woman is upset, like they say, it's nothing like the wrath of a woman is scorned. Why is it so common for if a woman is upset with the man that she was dating or just anybody in purpose, she can orchestrate something that would have him put in jail? I've heard this before with family members arguing. I will fuck around and have you in jail or kill you before another woman has you. I have aunts that have said that. So only a woman can answer this question. How can she have that much malice and hate in her heart where she just want him locked away? Only a woman can answer that question right there. We can try to answer it as men, but we'll never be able to answer that fucking question right there. This shit has happened. Oh, this ain't just Megan. Listen, this shit has happened in our hood. This shit is happening in our hood. Let me tell you something. I've seen my aunt tell my uncle and tell my grandmother. Let me tell y'all a story. Rest in peace to my Uncle Sonny Boy. Rest in peace to my Aunt Joanne. I think I've told this story before. Sonny Boy, playboy, handsome man, charismatic, good person. Sometimes was over friendly when he had that sauce in him. Allegedly, he was dealing with a woman, Caucasian woman, a couple of towns over. My Aunt Joanne, may she rest in peace, got wind of it. My Aunt Joanne came right here to this house, to my grandparents, came right here to this house. Told my grandmother, Edna, your brother is going to make me kill him. She said, I will be damned if he leave me for another woman and just walk away from me and my kids. She said, I will kill him first. I can't make this up. The following weekend, my aunt killed my uncle. The following weekend, when she told my grandmother this, she killed my uncle. The story was, if you go stay with that woman this weekend, I'm going to kill her. That's what my little cousin said. My uncle came home Friday like he usually do. I guess broke some of that bread off and then broke out. My uncle came home that Sunday. I never forget my grandparents and them talking about this. My aunt made him meatloaf, mashed potatoes, mixed vegetable, red Kool-Aid. My little cousin said they remember my aunt, may she rest in peace, rushing them to go to bed. They said my aunt had sex with my uncle, may they both rest in peace, and shot him in his face with his shotgun. Hey, Queen Gigi! And shot my Uncle Sonny Boy in the face with his shotgun. I can't make this up. She went to this place down here called Dorothy Dix. Back in the days, it was a mental institution by the name of Dorothy Dix. They said she cried for 4 months and died. I can't make this up. They say the woman cried continuously saying she missed my uncle and died. I can't make this shit up. Like, only a woman can answer this question. What comes in your heart to make you do something like that? Seriously. Like, that question Frank just asked just really hit me differently because, yes, I hope that guy come home, man. And that shit is fucked up that, unfortunately, ladies, y'all credibility is at this level when it comes to a man because of this image. I know women that'll punch niggas in the face. I done been in my cousins and them juke joints down here and chicks dead drunk done walked up in the juke joint, seeing they niggas punch them dead in the face. Bang! So I don't know why the world keeps painting this picture as women as being so defenseless and harmless, because that is not true. Key said she let it build up. Frank Boo came right behind. The worst kind of emotion is when a woman is built up. The question, if I knew her, I would call her right now and be like, yo, how do you feel about that man almost losing his life? How do you feel knowing that you purposely was responsible for this man going to jail for something he didn't do? Was she in love with him to the fact where she knew that if he stopped dealing with her, he was going to deal with somebody else? Was she just so vindictive and so spiteful where she said, oh, Amy, he fucking her too? Fuck this nigga, and just sent him to jail? And just sent them to jail? Ironically, this man is stabbed 14 times. Neck, face, his head, his arms, his chest, his back. That was nothing but a law. That was nothing. Yo, that is so sad. Just check this out. Just check this out. This is crazy.
It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do. At this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Gianno Caldwell, a media member who was working on that op-ed for the New York Post. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. My name is Gianno Caldwell. That is spelled Gianno, Caldwell, Caldwell. I am the founder of the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety at caldwellinstitute.org. I am also a member of the press for almost a decade now. I've been looking into Daystar Peterson's case for almost 6 months now, professionally known as Torey Lanez. And after reviewing the evidence, the reporting, and the legal analysis, I've come to the conclusion that Torey Lanez was railroaded by the former district attorney, George Gascon. He was also wrongly convicted. I believe if Jesus Christ was Torey Lanez's attorney, George Gascon would do whatever in his power to ensure that Torey Lanez lost that case. Torey Lanez's defense team have alleged the withholding of exculpatory evidence, prosecutorial misconduct, among other issues that I was compelled to write an opinion piece for the New York Post. It is true that last week, the New York Post editors reached out to 3 parties, one being George Gascon, Megan Pete's team, and Kelsey Harris. It is also true that Megan's team was the only ones that responded back for that request for comment.
This is the pink salt recipe that took me from 179 to 106.
I had some glaring questions, and that was the reason for this op-ed. Things didn't make any sense to me, many issues in this case, and I was shocked by the lack of interest from the media to ask very simple questions. There were multiple people with gunshot residue on their hands that night. Why didn't all individuals have the residue tested, their DNA tested on the weapon? That's a legitimate question. According to the prosecution, Torey was excluded from the clip of the gun. And according to Torey's defense team, they said DNA analysis showed that there was a 0.01% chance that Torey touched the actual gun itself. Another piece that stood out to me, the call that the prosecution alleged Torey made confessing to a crime. I listened to that call. I'm sure many of you have as well. I didn't hear a confession. But what really shocked me about it is if my best friend was shot maliciously by someone just 2 to 3 hours before, I wouldn't have answered the call, or if I did, I wouldn't calmly have a conversation with the individual of it. And certainly I would ask, why did you shoot my friend? And more importantly, I would never have given you my current location out of fear of you finishing the job. That was something that stood out to me. I also, in my op-ed, discussed Kelsey Harris pleading the Fifth Amendment. She wasn't accused of anything by Megan Pete or the police, and to my knowledge, she wasn't under any investigation. So why plead the Fifth? What also shocked me is the prosecution gave her immunity.
Pay attention to what he's saying. She pled the Fifth Amendment. Anybody's not familiar with the Fifth Amendment? If you can plead the Fifth Amendment to the fact that what you say may incriminate you, in the eyes of the law. It was like one of the biggest things with the crime bosses back in the days. Make a long story short, everybody got pulled in front of the feds for a hearing. They said, yo, I plead the fifth. Yo, how old are you? I plead the fifth. You can't tell me how you at? I plead the fifth. Why you keep pleading the fifth? Due to the fact that what I say may incriminate me. Yo, what school you went to? I plead the fifth. The legal right of a person that's on the stand. But everybody always says if you're pleading the fifth, you're guilty. That's the rules. That's what come with it. So why did she say she wants to plead the fifth? And the biggest part, like the prosecutor just said, first of all, the defense attorney was saying, why was she given immunity? Why was she given immunity? First of all, what was you given immunity for? Why was a deal made for you not to go to jail by any circumstances? See, this is the part that's fucked up about this whole situation right here, y'all.
For what? What did she do? Is there an allegation of her doing something? I'm not aware of that. Maybe some of you can answer that question today. During the time of trial, George Gascon, just to take you back to where we were at that particular point, he had just barely won a recall attempt. He lost support in many key demographics of voters. Crime was up in Los Angeles County. And this case would have been a silver bullet for him potentially winning. His policies obviously were bad and people were harmed. So that didn't happen, and thank God it didn't happen. At the heart of this injustice is the misuse of gun enhancement charges, a sentencing tool intended for the most dangerous and violent offenders. In Torey Lanez's case, these enhancements were not supported by evidence. But George Gascon, interestingly enough, who is someone who regularly would drop enhancements or not recommend them, chose to provide enhancements to Torey. And in his case, in any given situation, according to legal analysts I've spoken with, he would do 1 or 3 years if he did it without the enhancement. That's interesting. Why did George Gascon choose to pursue these enhancements? You know, there's cases I've been looking through which George Gascon has pursued, many in which he utilized these enhancements. A couple come to mind that I would like to reference here.
If you're 55 or over, did you know you could leave your loved ones with an inheritance?
One, Raymond Danger Gonzalez, a Mexican mafia gang member involved in a premeditated murder of 2 young men in 2017. Despite the brutality of the crime, Gascon didn't recommend enhancements. You premeditated murdered a teenager and another individual, brutal crime. Why would you recommend enhancements, but you would recommend them for Torey? That doesn't make a lot of sense. He also didn't pursue sentencing enhancements for the senseless murder of General Hospital actor Johnny Victor in Los Angeles in 2024. There's a lot of issues with this case. Many, I think, that the media should be pursuing all angles of it. We should not allow there to be unanswered questions. We should pursue open questions without fear or favor to anyone. That includes Mr. Torey Lanez. In his letter from the Birmingham jail, Dr. Martin Luther King wrote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If we take those words seriously, we must act when injustice is allowed to fester in plain sight." I founded the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety after my innocent teenage brother was murdered in Chicago on June 24, 2022. I stand firmly for public safety, for victims' rights, and for holding criminals accountable. But justice also demands that we protect the innocent and stand against politically motivated prosecutions. This is what I believe to happen here. When we imprison the innocent while violent offenders walk free, which is what was recently stabbed in prison, as many of you know, a tragic incident that underscores the urgency of this situation. And
So what they're saying is, quote unquote, number one, what type of judicial system do we have? If a person is supposed to be legal until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty, what happened to his fair trial? Why was all this new evidence that's found withheld? See, that's when you start thinking there's really some conspiracies behind this foolishness. That's when you really start thinking like maybe these situations when they're talking about these big corporations maybe don't have nothing to do with Rock Nation. People fail to realize Megan Thee Stallion is associated with some goons. That's a fact. That's a fact. She's not around no regular nigga. She's associated with some goons. You would never know what type of situation this. You would never know if, quote unquote, like if it's dudes that was around her and him when they was trying to find out what was going on between them, that everybody know each other. This could have been some niggas that she cool with or family members or people that say, you know what, the nigga in jail, hit that nigga, get that boy. Anything allegedly could have went down pertaining to the situation. A lot of niggas jump out the window when it come to women. Go get that bread, beloved. Stay safe, stay dangerous. You heard me? A lot of stuff is just mandatory. A lot of things, unfortunately, a lot of dudes have jumped the gun over women. A lot of lesbian women have jumped the gun over women. But this man right here, like they said, they want him home now. It ain't no waiting till tomorrow. Unrelease him right now. Pardon him from the hospital. After the Rolex Dre, my man, a.k.a. Puplo, drops y'all with Lady Friend. We gonna get in the puff and we out of here. You heard?
Pardon me, darling, for I'm acting all scary, but my heart been broke, so I'm a little leery. Apart these women, they really tried to tear me, and when I was locked up, they wouldn't come near.
Yo, shout out to my guy Kevin, the building. I didn't even see me pull up right quick. He said, is it true Torey told a Mexican dude in prison he would fuck his wife, laughing my ass off? See, they got a bunch of scenarios going on. He's actually right. Kevin Jones said that there was apparently a situation between Mr. Torey Lanez and the man that stabbed him up. Allegedly, they was on the visiting floor and Torey Lanez made some flirtatious moves towards a wife of the Mexican man while they was on a visit. Now, it's a bunch of things I want to see what's happening. I'm going to keep it real with you right now. If there is any truth to him allegedly disrespecting that man on a visit with his wife, that's a personal poke-up. That's not a race war. That's not a race war. Because in California, it's white, black, and Hispanic. Simple and plain. You could be blood, Crip, whatever you supposed to be. But if you black out there, you black. If you're Hispanic, you that. And if you're white, you're that. So that's what that stops to. But if that actually transpired, let's give it a little bit of light and say that actually happened or it occurred. Or could he have been assisted and paid off to actually use that reason to appear to be the reason why he possibly attacked him instead of making it seem like it was a paid hit? There's a whole bunch of things that you could really put together with this story right here. But the thing is for sure, from what they're saying about the other young lady being the one discharging the firearm and he knocking the gun out of her hand and it hitting the floor and it going off again, which is the reason why Megan Thee Stallion could have possibly been shot. But how did she get shot if she jumped onto the bottle that she broke when she threw it out the window, intoxicated? There's just too much motherfucking loopholes and dips and dots in this motherfucking story. You understand what I'm saying to you? But this is the only thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about this Puff thing for a situation right now. I don't know if this is the real picture. I don't understand why Puff would be in jail without a suit on or anything like that. I think this might have been something somebody might have put together for him, but this actually looks like he could be in a courtroom, but it could have been all computer put together and all that bullshit you see what's going on. But right now, this is the only thing that I want to understand. People, salute, beloved. Because they just said something in the previous show we was talking about with the young man that was a security guard that decided to come out and speak up in defense of what he saw that night and what it was on his account. They said that he said he never signed a non-disclosure. He never, ever signed a non-disclosure. Non-disclosure meaning you cannot talk about something that you know about or may have participated in, or you could be sued. He said his conscience told him to go out and tell everybody what transpired that night. But this is the part I want to know about this Puff and Cassie shit. That was it. That was it, Angel. That was actually it. His father was doing some praising and talking about certain things. That was actually the middle. It's called New Evidence Against Torey Lanez, Channel 11 News on YouTube. That's where I find a lot of my news and literature and stuff like that, because I'm subscribed to a lot of news stations. And shout out to Harlem Legend TV. I was at work and he did a show on this also. And it was very, very interesting about that part. That's what inspired me to go to that part, for people to understand the negative ways that these courts can just manipulate things and turn things around and withhold this type of evidence and put this away just to make sure, because I want to know what is the real motive behind them putting him in jail. But this is what I want to know to everybody in here. Frank Boo broke out. He had to go to work, but I wanted to know if anybody can answer this question for me before we get out of here. If Cassie signed a non-disclosure deal for $53 million because she asked for 30, he gave her $53 million, and she signed a non-disclosure agreement. Pay attention to this. This is why I say these feds is nasty. You can't play with them federal bureau niggas. Them niggas is nasty. What the fuck is she doing on stand? Hey, Holly, I see you in the building. What the hell is Cassie doing on the stand testifying for the prosecuting team? Can anybody answer that shit? Isn't a non-disclosure meaning no matter what, you can't speak about what you have agreed not to talk about because of the amount of money that has been paid to you? So you mean to tell me the nigga give her $53 million and she still gets to go back and tell everything of horrific measure? But see, Diddy got a defense team. He ain't got no real Little's Rascals Club. He got a defense team, some dudes that's really getting to the motherfucking bag, because she talked about how he would fly in escorts. But one of the escorts that they subpoenaed to come in said that Cassie, she enjoyed golden showers and she enjoyed the consumption of urine. That's what the escort said. He said, hold up, I was there and I was there for this reason. But she used to ask us to urinate on her. That's what he said. He said, yeah, that happened. He said, yes, Puff did have us get together for an arrangement. But he said it was her idea. You did? She says on court after they cross-examine her that the reason why she did those things is because she was under the influence of the drugs that he had flown in. Talking about that pink candy. But then again, the contradiction Well, let's go said all that shit she telling y'all is cap. Right now, before I get out of here, if y'all think Diddy going to jail, put a 1 up. If y'all think he gonna beat this, put up a dice cube. That's a fact, sis. This shit is unbelievable. If y'all think he going to jail, put up a number 1. And if y'all think he gonna beat this shit, put up a dice cube. He said, not trying to say whether I agree or not, but his defense team is going to rip her to shreds. Because I'm going to keep it funky with you. Me, myself, if I was a prosecutor, if I was a judge in this case, the only reason why I would be empathetic to anything that she was saying, especially pertaining to the video, is because of my moral compass. But from a non-biased point of view, when that nigga drug you up and down the motherfucking hallway and you decided to go back to him, y'all know the rest. Y'all know the rest. Facts. He gonna beat that shit. You know why he gonna beat it? One reason why he gonna beat it. He knows too much. He knows too much. That nigga got pictures of Prince Charles' son at a freak off. I said the Queen of England grandson at a freak off. LeBron James, all of a sudden, he decides he want to retire the NBA while this trial is going on. Bullshit. You're going to be hearing about a lot of people all of a sudden mysteriously fleeing the country for vacation. I promise you they go to them countries without extradition, especially when it becomes to being subpoenaed in court. This nigga Puff ain't no fool. Them niggas ain't playing. Them niggas he dealing with. That nigga Puff got money to make a nigga disappear. And I'm not talking about with him harming them. I'm talking about him financially setting people off for a new fucking life. You know how many people have disappeared for 500,000? I know some niggas that disappeared for 50,000. Nigga, I know some niggas that have disappeared for 5,000. I know some niggas that disappeared for $500. That's a fact. Did y'all see that stupid shit? Y'all see that video I got? That shit was bullshit. How you gonna get up there talking about you retiring from the NBA because you got washed up by the most garbage big man in the league? So hold on. If the most garbage big man in the league washed you up, it's only one logical answer to that. LeBron James is garbage. Shout out to Jaffe. We gonna ride out with him. Another day alive, another day free. LeBron James is garbage. And the Lakers ain't going to see Mickey.
Rise up. We got all
That's why it's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free.